Hi everyone, it's Joe here. Hope we're all doing well. I just wanted to make this next video with regards to allowing. So I was asked a question recently by someone, and they were wanting to know how you allow when you're trying to manifest. So one of the big forms of resistance is when you try to discuss and try to think about how the manifestation is going to come about. Now that's it's a massive area of resistance, and really when you think about it, it's not really allowing the process to unfold. So when you are focused on how this is going to come about, you're actually slowing it down, because when you focus on how, you're not really focusing on how, you're not really focusing on the actual manifestation itself. You almost don't believe that it's going to come about, and you feel as if you need to be in control of how the manifestation is going to happen. I've actually done a video with this on Agnes, rather. We spoke about this topic in general, and when you're really focused on how, you're not allowing anything to occur. So what happens is, normally you'll visualise, you'll have your imaginal scene, you'll sit in meditation, you'll visualise, you'll use all the senses, you'll feel that you're really in that space, and then you'll go away, and when you come away from it, you'll end up thinking, right, what do I need to do to get to that place? It's not in your control. It's absolutely not in your control. We can't know how it's going to happen. And when we allow the process to unfold, certain circumstances occur, certain things will happen. You will act under impulsion, as Neville puts it in many of his lectures, to do certain things that you wouldn't have done normally. And that is allowing the process to unfold. He talks about it a lot in his in one of his lectures, where someone asks him about his trip to Barbados and how he manifested that with the help of Abdullah, and he says he tried to discuss with Abdullah how it was going to come about. Abdullah wouldn't discuss it with him, on the basis, how can he discuss how, if he's doing what he's supposed to do? And what he was supposed to do was live as though he was in Barbados. So that's simply it. You imagine, you feel it to be true, and then you go about the rest of your day as if it's already happened. As if it's already happened. That's it. It's that simple. And if it's already happened, you can't discuss how it's going to happen if it's happened. So there's a little bit of a paradox there, and for some people it can be quite difficult to understand, and I understand that. I get that completely. However, simply allow, you ask the question, you ask what your desire, you imagine it, and then let it be. Just let it go. It goes away, that's it. No more. You don't need to worry about it anymore. When we start imagining how it's going to come about, that's when we're actually trying to tell universe how we can actually manifest. That's never going to work, ever. Because we can't know. We absolutely cannot know how it's going to come about. Many people, their imaginal scenes, they won't go to the very end. So what I mean by that is, you're trying to manifest the usual, a specific person, because that's quite the big topic these days. You try to manifest a specific person, and your imaginal scene may be living with that person and being in a relationship with that person. That's imagining from, that's living in the end. Some people, and I don't know specific people, but some people will imagine receiving a text from this person, or I don't know, how the person came back. They'll imagine the person coming back, or they'll imagine the person coming into their life and how it's going to come about. That's the wrong way to go about this. Why? Because you're trying to dictate to the universe how that has to come about. That's the wrong way to do it. And the specific example that I'm going to use, it was based on the question I was asked. The person who asked me the question, they were hoping to get into some form of coaching, and they are focused on how the clientele and how the people are going to come to her. It's not in her control, and she'll watch this video. It's not in your control. You can't know how it's going to come about. What you do know is that it will happen if you believe that it has happened. So you have to act as if you have several customers and several clients who want your coaching and who believe and find you an inspiration. It's the same for me in doing this channel. For me, I'm going to do this channel. People will watch it, some will like, some won't. I have it in the belief that it's going to be a success, that it is already successful. And that's enough. I don't need to focus on how I'm going to get clients, how I'm going to get subscribers, how people are going to watch it, how people are going to take to the video. I can't know that. I will never know that. All I can do is allow. And I will come under impulsion to make these videos. They won't be daily. In future they may be. Currently they won't be daily. But I will fall under inspiration and compulsion to make these videos as and when I feel it comes up in me to have that, to give this message to the people. So yeah, you ask the question, and then not focusing on the how is so important when you're trying to manifest, because you will never know how. And as Neville puts it, I'm going to put the link for that in the description for Neville answering the question about Abdullah when he answers, when he tried to ask how it was going to come about, and you can't know. If you're asking how this is going to come about, you don't believe that it's happened. You don't believe that it can happen or will happen. When you're focused on how this is going to happen, then you have no, you're pretty much, you're slowing yourself down. You're almost going back the way. Because when it doesn't happen the way you believe it should, how it should happen, you're making it worse for yourself. You're giving yourself less and less belief. Another example I'm going to use just before I close off. Back in the summer when I just started trying to manifest for fun, really. I was on driving to work one day, and I was hoping to get a gift from someone in work. And I just put it out there. I imagined that someone had gifted me something. That was it. I didn't know who it was going to be. I didn't know how it was going to come about. I didn't know what the gift would be. I just imagined, I just sought the feeling of having been gifted something. And that was it. A week later, a colleague of mine comes into work and says, I won a football bet last night. I'm going to buy everyone breakfast. Let's go. So the whole team, we go through for breakfast. Came back through, and I was literally into the first bite, and I thought, oh wow, that's the gift. That's it. I didn't need to know how. I didn't need to know when. I didn't need to know if. I didn't need to know who was going to gift us. It just happened. And when said colleague explained the mechanics of this bet that he won the night before, it was fascinating to hear how this actually came about. It was so fascinating to hear how it all happened. And everything for him to win this bet, it all conspired for me to get my desire. And that, I can't control that. That is probably the best example of letting go of how. Because all the different mechanics of winning this bet, that all happened in a way for me to achieve my desire, which was to be gifted something. It wasn't specifically breakfast, but to be gifted something from a colleague. So again, I hope this has been helpful, and you can find my email in the description. I'm also going to put the link for the Neville video, which is on YouTube, and also a link to my video with Agnes for those that haven't seen it. I believe many of the subscribers here will have seen this video already, but I'll put a link in there anyway for any newcomers. And I hope to make another video soon. Take care.